Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. It's getting time for gardening, right? We're trying to prepare our soil, prepare our plants, prepare everything about it. And in doing so, we bought over 300 pounds of fertilizer.
You're talking big doo-doo this time.
Yes, actually it's about 325 pounds, maybe to be exact, somewhere through there. But it's very important. It may sound like overkill to y'all, but it's super important to make sure you have all your fertilizers exactly when you need them, right? And sometimes we found that as you get later into the season, things are harder to buy. You're paying maybe more for a specific fertilizer than you would need to pay because it's convenient. It's there now, so you got to get it now instead of paying maybe a cheaper price if you ordered it and waited on it. So we bought over 300 pounds of fertilizer. We're gonna go through that and show you what we got, okay? Now behind me you see a stack of bags, right? And there's more than just that, but these are all the different items. We'll go through that in a second, but we will tell you that some of these items are available, we bought from Amazon, and they're available there. We'll put a link in the description for those. And some of these we bought from newcountryorganics.com. You're gonna pay a lot for shipping from them, but you might be able to find somebody in your area who is a local dealer for them. And if that's the case, then you can go to that person, order them from there, through that person, and you're gonna get a far better price. I will tell you that for us it's super important to have a good base fertilizer and then to have other amendments like blood meal and bone meal to add specifically what you're looking for and which fertilizer ingredient you're looking for that vegetable. Okay, so we're gonna go through this, show you our base fertilizer is a Harmony Ag. Okay, it's just a basic 543. This is all organic fertilizer, by the way. This is a basic 543 fertilizer. This is one we got from New Country Organics. We got 3 50-pound bags of this, and it's just like then very light basic fertilizer that we're gonna add to everything that we do. That's why we got 3 bags of them, so it's 150 pounds of just this. And that'll go in everything. Everything we do is going to have this in it, and it's just made from composted poultry manure from an egg laying operation. I think in like New York somewhere. It's very good, works great, but it's not near enough because it's so light. So we got others to add to it. This bag right here is a bag of bone meal, organic bone meal from Espoma. We bought from Amazon. It's a 24-pound bag of bone meal. It is a 412-0. So this is a really good source for phosphorus, okay? NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. So this is a very good source of phosphorus, and it's also a good source of calcium. So like your tomatoes will need calcium, and it's really good for that. We bought a 24-pound bag. Best price you're gonna find per pound on this, and so we know we're gonna need a lot of it. Also, your corn may need a good amount of that. It's honestly really good for that. And corn is a heavy feeder, so naturally, you're gonna need a lot of fertilizers for that in general. So this is really good. Again, all the tomatoes are gonna get this. All of our root vegetables are gonna get this. Almost everything gets this, except for greens. This big bag right here is Kelp Mill. It's a 40-pound bag of Kelp Mill. I thought it was 50 to start with, but it's 40-pound bag of Kelp Mill. We got it at New Country Organics as well. And it's really good for potassium. Now, it's not all the potassium you're gonna need. We'll cover that in a minute. But it's a good organic source of a natural potassium, and it really helps condition your soil and helps your plants fight off diseases and things of that nature. It's a really good start to what you're gonna need for your plants. Again, a large bag of a fertilizer from Espoma that we found on Amazon. And this is blood meal, all right? It's a 17-pound bag of blood meal. Straight nitrogen, hot nitrogen at that, so be aware, it's really hot, straight nitrogen. So because of that, you don't want to use it on things that don't need a crazy amount of nitrogen, only on, at least not much, you may need a little bit, but not much, but only on things that are heavy feeders and things that just need straight nitrogen, like greens are just straight nitrogen, heavy feeders like any squashes or, like I said before, corn. But again, it's a 17-pound bag, much better price buying it in bulk like that. For instance, we would go to like Ace Hardware for organic fertilizer because they have decent amounts or decent styles, but it's only like a 3 or 4 pound bag, and you're paying about $13 to $14 for a 3 or 4 pound bag. This is a 17-pound bag of blood meal and 24-pound bag of bone meal, and I promise you the prices are far better. I think we paid under $100 for all that, which is much better price. This next one is Azomite. Okay, it's not something that people know about all the time, but it's something that I think is getting more traction, and it's something I'm a firm believer in. It is to restore the nutrients and trace minerals in your soil. You'll see it here. It talks about remineralizes soil to optimize growth, improves root systems, yields, and plant vigor. all-purpose natural nutrient for organic use. I'm an absolute believer in it. We used it last year for the first time, and I do believe that all of our plants benefited greatly from it. You don't need a crazy amount in every spot, but you do. I think all of it does need some. So for us, it's a must-have in your garden. And right here, it's a 25-pound bag of worm castings. That's right, we got that from New Country Organics. It's the best price on worm castings you're going to find anywhere, as far as I've found. We bought 2 bags of that, so we've got 50 pounds of worm poop, right? But it's wonderful. It's great to add to all your soils. And a lot of these things are slow release, okay? They don't just inject over like immediately. They're slow release fertilizers, so they're good for extending your growth and just really helping your soil out. Worm castings is the same. We use that in our green stalks a lot. We use it in our raised beds. Because you got to remember, if you're reusing soil, reusing potting mixes and things like that in raised beds and in containers especially, you've got to refertilize that dirt or that soil every single time, because what you just had in there took all those nutrients out. So in order to keep growing in that same soil, you got to keep refertilizing it. So that's why we buy so many. Worm castings are a good way to get your nutrients back in the soil. And the last thing we bought is this. We bought 4 boxes of this Miracle Grow Performance Organics fertilizer for edibles. Okay, it's a big stinking deal because this is a water soluble one. Okay, so we bought this from Amazon again, and this mixes in water and gives you a good fertilizer to water with, and it is a 9-4-12. That's where the potassium's coming in at. It's a little high in nitrogen for us. We didn't want that much nitrogen, but it's going to be okay. But the phosphorus is a big deal in this because it's really hard to get that much phosphorus in an organic fashion. So that is something that we're going to be using to help water our gardens once in a while. Okay, we don't use this all the time, but once every few weeks, most likely. We have a lot. We have a lot to water, so that's why we bought 4 boxes. That's it. That's all of our fertilizers we bought this year. We shouldn't have to buy any more, right? We should have plenty for now, for this whole season, a whole season, spring, summer, fall, into the late year. So we've got a lot of growing to do, got a lot of fertilizers, and this should take care of them all. So thank you guys so much for watching. We do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.